Welcome back to Los Comics TV. It's Thursday, June 11th, and I'm your host, Javier Hernandez. So, this is a part 2 to part 1 last week. So it's part 2. It's going to be another manga unopening. So, I got this package here. I got 2. I got another one on the side here. Let's start with this larger box. Anyway, let me get started. So, what I did was I slid it open here earlier, just so we don't spend the time cutting it. So let me I will bring the stuff up to the table. Let me get them here. All right, here's what we got. So we got 4 manga volumes, 3 of one set and this other one here. So let me move a lot of this stuff over. So again, this is a Go Nagai unboxing. One of the Go Nagai, one of the top Japanese comic creators. So there's volume 1, and you've heard me talk Devilman before. You definitely heard me talk Go Nagai. Volume 2. And let me get the last one here. So you guys get the exact sensation I do of opening the package. Why edit all that stuff out, right? Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm gonna watch the glare here a little bit. Okay, so what this is, it's obviously Devilman. You guys are gonna be, yeah, but don't you already have a Devilman set? You know, the recent one that came out in 2018 by, I believe, 7 Seas. In, you know, English translations available in the U.S. Check your booksellers for that. So original Devilman manga came out in 72, 73. You know, serialized, and of course, you know, over the decades now, they always collected in new volumes, new sets. So this one, let's see, what year is this one? Does it tell us the year? It's probably the 80s, I'm thinking. I don't see, because sometimes you can see the date in English here. Okay, well, I'm not really sure, but I think it's from the 80s. And the reason I wanted this set, it's going to sound silly to anyone but comic fans and collectors. So this is the complete original Devilman, the way it was printed in the you know, when it was serialized. That's literally the first page. So over the years, like in 79 and 78, 79, Go Nagai did like love that giant claw coming through here. Yikes. He did a follow-up book to this run, this original storyline, which is this one here. And I really wanted to get this. So this is called SHIN Devilman, which would be Shin, I guess, is new Devilman. So this came out in 78, I believe, 79. So he did a new story with the characters. So it's only like 6 years later. So the art styles, you know, sometimes people's art style changes a lot. But what happens a lot in this story is there's a lot of time traveling. No time traveling in the original storyline, but later there was in this little Shin Devilman. And this was serialized over, I think, a year or 2 and then collected. So, you know, it's collected in a pretty thin book by Japanese standards, because usually they're like, what, 300,000-400,000 page epics. So let's see if we have an idea of how many pages. 202, 3. So yeah, he did about 203 new pages 6 years after he finished the original saga. And so like I said, a lot of it is time traveling stuff with Akira and Ryo, you know, from the first storyline, traveling through time, finding demons, demons kind of like subverting humanity, right? So they go back to the French Revolution. They even go back to Germany in the 30s, and they find this frustrated painter. It's pretty bizarre. And well, like I said, I've read this before in the translation, and Wow, who does that painter grow up to be? And here is with Joan of Arc. So I guess the story behind the idea behind this is that there's been demons throughout the throughout Earth's history. So Rio and Akira are flying around. There's demons, I guess, that Joan of Arc was fighting, and then there's all kinds of here the Trojan days. Look at that on the ship. So yeah, Akira and Rio just end up in these little mini adventures. So what eventually ends up happening is later on when they start making new editions of Devilman or new collections. Like here's one I have. I think this is the late 90s. Nice hardcover. This is the first set I ever bought. It was a 5-volume set. So what happens is, then when I read the story, when I at least looked through it, the first pages took place in the past, right? Where there's angels, and then they're in paradise there, then they're being attacked by the demons. But in the original Devilman saga from '72, the very first page is there's Akira in high school. So okay, so then we go to Shin Devilman. Well, see, it's all out of order because there should be a sequence. Oh, wait a minute. You know what okay. So the demon in the prehistoric time, I guess, wasn't in Shin Devilman. So I just learned that. Anyway, so now by me having this set, I could actually, if I ever take the time, I wanted to, compare it to like the newer volumes and see, because there's sometimes they redraw some. I've seen online they'll redraw pages. So anyway, just for being a collector, I wanted to have at least as much as I could the original version of the Devilman story. Here's where you can originally getting transformed into at that underground party, and he gets possessed by the demon Amon. Which, if you've seen Devilman Crybaby, this probably looks familiar to you. Anyway, so by having this, I can go through the original storyline, unedited, without the Shin Devilman stuff in it. And then I always wanted to have a copy of the Shin Devilman collection, because as far as I know, after they did this printing of it, I don't think they don't normally print this separate anymore. Like, I guess Go Nagai always wants it intercut, and then it's literally intercut. Like, part of it's in the beginning of #1, and then in the middle and everything. So anyway, as a collector, I do like having different editions at times, especially if I get them really cheap. I'm not here to buy like a $100, $500, $1,000 set, but it's just cool having for me it is having these, like the original storyline and then the Shin Devilman. So that's that. And yeah, I have another box here. Ugh. Again, I opened it, so we don't have to fuss with me. Wow, look at that. It's all nicely organized, ready to drop out. Let me do that. Let's see if these land right. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yep. Wow, 7 volume. Oh, they're upside down. They're upside down. So now they're going to be all mixed up, right? I feel like a card dealer. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yes, for all you collectors out there, isn't it the beauty of having your sequential series there? So this is a nice set. This is a hardcover set. So what is this? This is Violence Jack. Let me put. I guess I'll put these over here, and then yeah, that one's right there in camera. This is another series of Go Nagai. This one came out in this hardcover set. I'm not sure when it came out, but the original storyline came out in '73 to '74. So basically, Violence Jack. He started it just about a month after the last chapter of Devilman was finished in the Weekly Shonen magazine. So what this is, it's a post-apocalyptic tale. Let's just go through the covers here. Volume 2, 3, 4. I like the design where it's, every cover's got pretty much one color, and then you got the black line art. 4, 5, 6. It's nice if I've done that before, right? May put a skull in the moon. And 7. Well, there we go. Let's end off with the let's end off with the most violent one we can. 7. So here we go. 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. So Violence Jack. It's very violent. It's a post-apocalyptic tale. In 1973, well, that's what a good 6, 7 years before the first Mad Max. I'm sure those post-apocalyptic stories, but I think this might have been the first big one in Japan. So yeah, this is this big hulking monster of a brute. I have, I think, 2 of these. Like again, over the years, I'd be able to find 1 or 2 of even the previous books I've shown you. But I can never complete a set. So sometimes, recently I've been on this little streak here, I guess, and I see these complete sets of these books I've wanted for a long time. And well, they sent us stimulus money to stimulate the economy, but they never specified what country. So I found some nice deals, so I've been getting these nice sets. So again, it's you'll start recognizing the art because you've seen me go through these before, the Go Nagai stuff. Wow. Look at that. I love that rough looking art. It's like pencil or some type of Conte or something, Conte crayon. It's got like a rougher edge to it, which fits the mood of this comic. Okay, I guess this looks like modern Japan. And I think, yeah, so it's supposed to be a giant earthquake that destroys it, not a nuclear bomb, which, earthquakes in Japan. I live in California, so I'm very well aware of that whole ring of fire, earthquakes. Wow, look at this. Man, this is some great stuff. Art-wise, I mean, it's terrible what's happening, but look how effective that is. Man, that's just good cartooning, people. That's what we're all here for, right? Some great, great comics. And, it's a visual medium, so artists, do your thing. Wow. Yes, man, let's go through the destruction. Wow, look at these different effects. That's an ink wash. Look at this. There's no holding line. And then here, turn your eyes here, and you got some sharp graphic inking there. Wow. Yeah, a lot of nice, it's like washes and gray tones and such. But, oh my God, yeah, horrible than a tsunami, right? I mean, we've seen that before. Man, this is, wow. Individual people getting killed. Someone got decapitated here by a car, unfortunately. Yeah, wow. Airplane coming down the runway. The runway breaks, so yeah, the plane snags it and blows up. Man, this is a methodical, let's show everything, even out in nature, right? The volcanoes are going off. It's almost like the Bible, except in the beginning where things are being created, things are being destroyed. Well, so then we get a map, I guess, how Japan got divided up or whatever. And now I guess we get to the present time for our story. And that would be our, I'll call him the protagonist, Violence Jack. Again, only what I've read online, synopsis and such. I've never read a translation of this. So, but yeah, I'll be able to go through, like I told you last time, and just, look at this. So this is inked. And then the skull that he's cracking, is like it's done just in pencil, so you get a different effect right from the ink. Man, like I said, Go Nagai, he started late 60s, probably 68, 69, something like that. But man, when he hit his prime, he was just like going nuclear from the early 70s. And this is, what I say, late 70s? 70. This is also 73, 74. And then at this time, he was also doing Mazinger Z, his giant robots, and Cutie Honey. I mean, yeah, it's an astounding explosion of work from the guy. Yeah, I like this really rough drawing here. But, so anyway, like I said, the most I know about it, it's a cute little cartoon kid here. Didn't I just show you decapitation like 10 pages earlier? That's manga for you. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out this story in real time. It's like some kids playing and thugs I imagine these kids are going to repel these thugs. Looks like we got a flashback. Anyway, so we got 7 volumes of this. Got to be a little careful because I know there's some pretty explicit stuff in this. These Go Nagai works, and I'm not sure what YouTube's standards are. I mean, I try to flag my videos not for kids, but I don't know what that, can people still complain or whatever. Yeah, so let me go through a few of these. And then over the years, there's been like sequels, he comes back and does another Violence Jack run. But from what I read, this 7-volume set that I have is the 2 storylines he did in the 70s. So he did a storyline in the early 70s and then another one in the late 70s. So luckily, they're all together in one set. So it'll be neat for me to go through these and eventually figure out where the break is. Maybe by storytelling style or technique and such. Yeah, this is cool. I get these color pages. Wow, look at that. Man, that is a beautiful painting. I don't know if that's acrylic or gouache or even a watercolor or a combination. Man, yeah, this is good stuff. Uh-oh, look at that. Someone got sucker punched. Wow, look at this. Ferocious like a lion. Man, look at that double page spread there. Yikes. So yeah, like I said, I'm glad I have the man, I just love the variation of style. With this, the top of the head silhouetted with the white eyes, and now it's more back to like, you can see the detail of the face and the eyeballs. Yeah, see a lot of this in his work. White silhouette, reversed out silhouettes. Look at this, and then go here. Black sky, white silhouette, and then you got a screen tone in the sky, so it's not jet black, and then the figure gets a little lost, but you still see it. Man, this is like just sometimes these like master classes in like how you could do comics, at least techniques and mood and storytelling and all that. So like I said, yeah, wow. Road Warrior, man. We don't need another hero. So from what I've read, man, I'm just like marveling at this art. It's funny, right? This is a spread, but you got the break in the middle, so they stop the panel at the edge here. They don't run it across. But the minute I opened it, I read it as, yeah, because you see the tunnel, going into the back, the perspective. Whereas the one where the guy was punching the guy, it's one continuous image. So again, everything's choices, everything's ideas and such. So I don't know, he met this kid. So what I read, yeah, from what I was reading, that there's this kid, there's Violence Jack, and then there's a woman, and they're supposed to all be like a form of Violence Jack, something like that. So it's really interesting. And wow, look at this. It's like these old 1930s, well, we always call them gangster cars, but these old 30s cars. Wow, I wonder what that's about. Oh, here we go. So it's in the, okay, well, here's a woman dressed very, well, it's definitely not the pants, but it looks like she came out of New York in '78. Interesting. Like from the top here, and maybe that, she almost looks Spanish. But yeah, it's that type of world, all kinds of stuff. Oh, okay, what? There's a whole bunch of ladies. A whole bunch of ladies came out of the car. Yeah, when I look at it, I kind of get a like a Escape from New York vibe too. Wow. Oh, here, look at this guy. I think that's the Slum King. Yeah. Interesting. So like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what part does the art style, if it noticeably changes. Because like I said, the first part of these volumes have a storyline from 72, 73, and then the second half is going to have the later storyline from the late 70s. So it's going to be interesting to see where the art breaks. But man, it's so great to have the books. You know, I mean, you know, we all use the internet. I'm on there all the time. It's very helpful, useful, interesting stuff. But for me, man, to hold like a book, comic book with like this type of art, I want to hold it in my hand because I want to just, you know, look at it, gloss over it, you know, flip back and forth instead of scrolling. Yeah, that's so disturbing. That's Rio from the original Devilman and Miki, and man, Slump King's got them, their arms decapitated, cut in half in their thighs, and they're on all fours. Yeah, that's man, that's some disturbing stuff. You know, yeah. So one thing I've read about Violence Jack is that there's the theory, not theory, but from again stuff I read from people's reviews online, that this is a different version or future version of Akira from Devilman, because we already saw the characters that look like Rio and Miki. So anyway, like I said in my previous video, part 1, talking about Go Nagai's other stuff, you know, a lot of these old manga guys did it, probably even the modern ones, where they can take characters from one type of story they do, and maybe they show up in another story. They may or may not be the same character, but they look just like the character. Or it could be just something he does where, yeah, it is them, but it's just a alternate version of them in some alternate world. So I just find that type of world building fascinating, because I don't know, I don't think it's as prevalent in American comics, at least the ones I've read. So I like that. It's just something I want to explore, want to see how it, you know, see how they do it. And of course, I got that barrier where I'm not actually reading the actual, you know, word balloons here and such, but that's what the internet's for. You know, do some research online, fill in the gaps. Yeah, this is interesting stuff. Yeah, this guy Slum King with his ancient samurai armor, and then these yeah, he's got this small army of I don't know what these, yeah, bodyguards, or they're there for some reason. I'm sure they're up to no good if they're working with this guy and his cool car. So here we go. What's 3? Man, so it's like Christmas, right? Just going through this whole box of books. Yeah, so here's our color section, right? So, wow, people hung in a tree and he's taking the tree with him. A lot of heavy inking on the gray tones. Wow, that's a nice, I love the way that's colored, shaded. And we talked about, right, you know, these artists, they have a team of assistants, so don't know how work is cut up. Jeez, look at that. Wow. Man, look at the yeah, look at just the emotion and the drama in the art. Especially for us, we can't read what they're saying. I mean, we get the gist of at least how they feel of what they're, you know, what they're saying or what they're thinking. Look at the, yeah, just the way it's just painted with grays. Man, I don't know. Yeah, you know, is this airbrush? I'm gonna guess maybe yes. Some of it airbrushed. Wow. It's late 70s, so there's no computer coloring. Wow, look at the grays on that. Let me take a quick drink. That's a nice image to look at. Violence Jack in silhouette there. I don't know if it's the manga, but I always get really thirsty when I'm doing these manga reviews. You know, they always, in character design, I've heard it like from people in the, especially in the animation world, where they're very particular about character design. But anybody really, you know, they say design your character in a silhouette, so it's, you can always tell who it is. If it's just all black, you know which character. So in this case, you know, he's got the bare arms, and then he's got the raggedy ends of the vest on top, and then the shaggy hair. So we saw plenty of silhouetted Violence Jack. You know, Batman would be very obvious to tell in a silhouette. So, you know, there's definitely some, that's a valid point on some characters. Then again, you get Black Panther and Daredevil. If they're just silhouettes, outside of Daredevil's two little horns sticking up, how would you know which is which? But, yeah, that's just one of the tools in making comics, character design. You know, the story, the world you design, and in this case the technique. It's, you know, with all the shading, the gray tones, man. Wow, look at this. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know how tall he is. Violence Jack, what, 15 feet, 20 feet? Dang. Get Ang Lee to make that film. Remember he made that giant Hulk? I used to hate that Hulk. Although I end up liking the movie after, over the years, the original Ang Lee Hulk movie. But that was a sidestep there. Bullet ridden car. Oh, oh wow, a sumo battle. I'm sure he's gonna kick their asses. Wow, that's great. Look at that. Man. I forgot what that movie's called. Backward Body, I don't know, Backward Body Slam. Wow. There's some wrestling going. Oh, there we go. Bane breaking Batman's back, right? Way before that happened. Jack walking off triumphantly, all badass. So, uh-oh, it's like another maelstrom of something. Oh, another Go Nagai motorcycle gang. Remember my last video with Susanna Oh? This is a cool shot. Man, look at the one bike that just split right down the middle of the panel there. That's interesting. Yes, I saw this. Yeah, right here, man. That's pretty wild. Yikes. Man, look at that. It's like the Sistine Chapel of, geez, ravaging and pillaging motorcycle gang. Post-apocalyptic motorcycle gang. Yeah, we're definitely in a... Man, we're definitely in road... Look at it. We're in the road warrior territory here, folks. Wow. That was another cool character, right? Take off the helmet. He's got a mask on. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is... wow. Yeah, this is... Yikes. Look at that stuff. Wow, there's a good shot of the size of the character. A lot of detail in these books, and this is a nice shot. He's jumping down from the sky, it looks like. Yeah, you don't see anything but the characters. No. Sometimes by not putting detail in the background, it makes the characters pop out. Because you could have put some of the sky up there, maybe a piece of building, but you know, why take from that for this splash page? Again, it's your choice. Your choice is the storyteller. The artist. What are you going to put in there? What are you going to? Wow, look at this. Okay, so yeah, now this is a shot looking down at the street. It's a very western, right? It's like a western town. But boy, look at the texture on the ground. And these bikers don't get lost because they got these smoke clouds around them. Yeah, because just putting a bare figure against that background, but by having this little white areas around it. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. It's not like you guys obviously see what you're looking at. Just, this is a cool shot. I'm actually gunned down this whole team here. So what, we're barely number 4. Okay, so past the halfway point. So anyway, this is yeah, this is me collecting stuff I like. I know everybody out there is collecting what they like. I think that was the character doing all the gunning down. So yeah, like I said, I'm curious where the break is between the first Violence Jack story and then the second one. You know, I'm gonna spend time, you know, obviously looking at this closer, and then I, you know, maybe there's a part where the storyline changes, because right now I guess it's kind of blended in so far. Oh wow! Ah, look at that! Look at the arm swooping around, hitting the two characters. Big knife fight. Man, yeah, I'm trying to count all the little strokes here. No, just kidding. Boy, that's, man, that is something else, folks. Love it. Yikes, okay, he's taking these people away. Off into the sunset, look at that. I'm kind of trying to see, does this end on a thing and then, okay, so it looks like they're leaving. So now I wonder if this is the end of the original story, and then volume 6 here. Some color art. No, well, there's those characters again that we left off with, unless it just continued. Again, I don't know where one story ended, the other one started. But anyway, the good thing is, for me, is I got this 7-volume set, which comprises the first 2 Violence Jack storylines. And like I said, he did some other ones in the 80s and 90s, and I think even probably in the 2000s. Which I think some of those were collected like in a 30 or 40 volume set. But like I said, I'm glad I got the original, at least the original storyline, for what it's worth. And I'll be able to go through and look at all this stuff. Man, look at this stuff, man. Yes, it's some wild stuff. So, yeah, sorry. Sometimes you don't know what to say. Just looking at it, like, okay, I am taking this in. Well, this is, you know, interesting use of panels in the panel design. You know, sometimes they stick with and any artist, you know, basic panel 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, you know, really cool, crazy on the design. Whatever suits the storytelling or the point you're trying to make. Wow. Right? We all love dragons. Look at that. Man, oh man. Man, look at that. Wow. Cutting off the arm. Oh man, he's fighting this giant serpent. And he's biting it. I don't know, man. This is just amazing stuff. This is a good size too, you know, like they don't do their comics as big size as American comics, but for manga this is pretty good because they're usually maybe a little shorter, and then there's smaller ones. Yes, man, this is good stuff. And it's like Jack killed that dragon. The serpent has been slain. And let me go through the last one here, because I think we're at our, at least my, you know, my target time length. And yes, again, open up with some color pages. Open up with just a big scene of violence. You know, what do you expect? So I'd be curious if this last volume, maybe this is that last storyline from the late 70s. But, you know, I'm going to go through this again, really look at it, enjoy it, read it, visually read it, and then go online and look, see if I can find out how many pages like that first run was, and then, you know, find where it breaks in these books. That guy's great. Look at this, got a scar, but it was like a target. See that? Character design, man. This is Man, I just love this page. Right? Look, every panel is just a shot of Jack, but different technique. Look at the stark silhouette here. You got pure white, no shading on it, versus what these are, and then it's all different points of view, you know, angles of him. I don't know, I just like that page. Like, it's interesting. Oh, there's that kid from the earlier books in the safe. So, yeah, this is, well, yeah, this has to be that later story, because this is the last book in this volume. So, like I said, it's a matter of where I find the break. But anyway, that was Violence Jack, and underneath is just the I guess, yeah, it's the same art. Yeah, that's nice. Same art. And here's the dust jacket cover. Anyway, folks, thanks for indulging again, watching the show, supporting the show. Sorry for disappearing on you here. Just wanted to, so we got Original Devilman, Violence Jack, and Shin Devilman. Anyway, thanks again. Please share the video if you know any other fans of manga, Go Nagai, or just comics in general. Press the like button there on the bottom of the video. And we will see you next time here on Los Comics TV. Thank you.